Hey everyone, I'm Alex.
And I'm Courtney, and this is Nerds at Odds.
Your weekly podcast about all things in nerd culture and beyond.
I would like to remind everyone that you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Nerds at Odds.
And I want to remind everyone who's listening to the podcast to rate and review us on whatever service you use. And if you want to get the show 4 days early, ad-free, and with the ability to submit your questions, comments, and concerns, head on over to patreon.com/nerdsatodds. And let's hop on into this. So what have you been doing recently?
So, I haven't been doing a lot this week. I finished reading The Help, which I have been reading the past week.
Or two, yeah.
Yeah. And then I basically went to work and we've been playing some games with friends.
And while that has been going on, I have been checking out Season 2 of Fall Guys, which recently came out a couple days ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You've watched me play a little bit of it. What do you think? You saw some of the new obstacles and some of the new outfits. Do you think they're improving on it?
The new obstacles look fun. I played a little bit. I got a little ragey.
Yeah.
I
I rage a lot while playing the game as well. I think it's fun. I like how they've added some more crowns to the season pass. I do feel like they should have taken out more of the obstacles from Season 1, because some of them are in there that are not great, I don't think, especially like the memory one. I don't like that one a lot. And I would like them to include some of these new obstacles in the rotation more. I feel like I don't see them enough. But I'm excited to own the new outfits for Season 2.
And Big Yeetus.
I haven't seen Big Yeetus yet at all. It's still a myth, I feel, Big Yeetus. But other than that, I've been playing some Rogue Company, which is one of these Overwatch type games. It's free on the PlayStation Store. I just dived in to check it out. It's okay. You know, it's not too great, not too bad. It's fun to waste some time with a podcast in the background. Lastly, I've been playing two other games. I've been playing Rocket League on the Switch, which is free to play now. I've done a lot of stuff on it on PlayStation, but I've decided to play it on the Switch because it's fun to just lounge with it in my hands and play it. You know, it's got over 1 million concurrent players again, which is crazy for a game that came out 4 years ago. But it's a lot of fun. I suggest you check it out if you haven't already. And lastly, the last thing I've been doing is playing Days Gone, which just came out on PS Now for the PS4 for free if you have PS Now, which if you don't, you should totally check it out. I'm liking it. It's okay. It's fun to play, but it's still a little buggy, which is not great for a game that came out like a year ago. But I've been having a lot of fun with that. We've been doing some things together. You want to talk about some of the stuff we've been playing together?
Sure. So we've been playing some Unrailed. We haven't lost yet.
No, we've played
the demo.
Yeah, and then we played a couple hours maybe.
Yeah.
We got a couple stations done.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun. It's on the Switch. If you have more friends, I'm assuming it's even more fun, but I'd like to get back to it with you.
Yeah, I just worry I'm going to yell at you.
Yeah, that seems to happen in multiplayer games.
Yes.
And we've been playing Among Us with our friends in our extended friend group.
And I've played a little bit on my own as well. I stayed up till 5 a.m. last night playing it.
So let's talk about the experience we've had with our friends, and then you can talk about how it was during some public matches.
Okay, so me and my friends, we don't play how everyone plays. You know how you're on Discord, and then you shut off Discord while the match is going on, you turn it on when you're discussing. So we do it a little different in that we talk the whole time. We don't really talk about what we're doing as much as we just have fun and have conversations. And then when the meeting starts, the people who are dead, they just kind of don't really talk. Maybe just go, like, I trusted you, or something along those lines. And then we move on to, like, just more conversation after the meeting.
Yeah, everyday stuff.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun with it. It's very stressful playing the game, especially as the imposter, trying to lie your way out of things. My favorite thing to do is to accuse other people of doing things that person knows I did. Like if I kill someone in front of someone, I'll try to report the body and then lie about how the other people. But that's what you
always do, which makes you suspicious. I need to get better at venting, which I noticed when playing with random people.
How did that experience go?
It's frustrating. A lot playing with random people, especially because, you know, you can only use the game's chat function.
Yeah, like typing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but also, like, you don't know these people. Some people just hit the button to hit the button. Some people they immediately, I guess maybe they have poor connection, or they're just like, I'm just gonna leave. I don't want to be a normal person. I don't want to be an imposter. I'm just gonna leave.
That seems to be a problem with any game where it's like one villain versus a group of good guys.
Yeah, but so, like, the whole point of the game, if you don't know, is you're trying to complete these tasks before you get killed by the imposter, and if you see bodies, you report them. You report bodies. And I had a game where I was going around, I was in navigation, I see a body, I saw dark green in the area, I report the body, I go, the body was in navigation, dark green was around. And dark green didn't say it, but everybody else was just like, oh, it's yellow, it's definitely yellow. And I got voted off immediately. And I'm not one of those people that are like, I got voted off, I'm just gonna quit. I, did my tasks while I was dead and everything. And this other person who immediately accused me got killed by dark green. And I was watching.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, it was dark green. And I'm like, yeah, I said that. I was like, I got voted off for doing nothing. I did nothing wrong. And they were like, you reported the body.
I mean, yellow's a sus color, though. Maybe.
No, it's not.
Yeah, yellow's sus.
No, listen, I didn't even get yellow half the time. I was like, because, you load into a game, there's probably already people with that color. So I was just like, I'll just be brown or whatever color it gives me. But it just annoyed me to no end. I would report a body and people were like, that's sus. And it's like,
I'm gonna bring that into when we're playing with our friend groups. Whoever reports is sus.
It's so annoying.
But if you have a group of friends, I think we'd recommend you guys check out the game.
It's much better to play with friends. Maybe not in the same room, because you always, like, you keep...
Yeah, Courtney keeps looking at my screen.
I don't look at his screen. We're sitting on the couch. I'm turned facing him so he can't see my screen. And he's just sitting normally on the couch, and I can see his screen.
But it's free on the iPhone,
it is free.
iPad, I guess Android devices, and PC.
I think so.
Yeah, it's free. So
there's ads, but you can just, like, exit out of them real quick.
Like 5-second ads, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
So you guys should check it out if you have a friend group to play it with.
Yeah, doing random. I had, like, my first couple of matches I did with one group, and they were pretty chill at, like, 2, 3 in the morning. But then, like, they wanted to go to sleep, and I couldn't sleep, so I just kept playing more Among Us. And I got very frustrated.
With that, we've also been watching Masked Singer and American Ninja Warrior.
Yes.
I don't know how much we can talk about without spoiling these shows.
Masked Singer's great. There's some really good contestants this year.
Yeah. We don't know who they are. They're still in their mask. They haven't been unmasked yet. So
we haven't guessed anyone yet.
Yeah, we haven't got any of them right. So if you're watching The Masked Singer, just know we're 0 for 3 right now.
Yes.
But this might be the strongest season so far when it comes to contestants.
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't even seen Group C yet.
Yeah, Snow Owls are my favorite, I think.
Yeah, I think Snow Owls are my favorite too. Especially since I think I know who they are. I'll just leave it at that.
We're not going to discuss any of that stuff.
But check those out.
This is being recorded a week beforehand.
Yeah.
So
both of them are on Hulu.
Yes.
They come on Hulu the day after they air. So be sure to check those out.
And American Ninja Warrior has this, like, thing where as soon as they finish the season, they take them all off. So you gotta keep up to date with American Ninja Warrior.
I'm pretty sure they're putting American Ninja Warrior on Peacock.
Yeah. So...
Which seems to be happening.
But it's like you can kind of watch it free. There's, like, a paywall.
From what I heard about Peacock, you can only watch the first couple seasons of shows for free. And then you have to unlock them. We would have to check it out, I guess. I'm not that interested in it, though.
Okay.
And now, we've also been watching our Halloween films in preparation for the Halloween special that we're going to do, which will come out for free on Friday, October 30th on all the podcast channels, or on Patreon for our patrons on October 26th. And we've started watching some of these Halloween films so we can review, discuss, rate them, and all of that on the Halloween special. And if you guys want to like play along at home and watch them and take notes so you can join our discussion on the Halloween special, we're going to give you the list of films and where to watch them.
And we're going to be doing more than just the like Halloween movies. We're going to do like best Halloween candy, stuff like that.
Yeah, our favorite outfits. So look forward to the Halloween special. Just a quick note on where to watch these. This is where to watch them in the United States. It may differ depending on where you're at. So you're going to take the first couple films?
Yeah, so first is one of my favorites, Hocus Pocus on Disney+. Then we've got Nightmare Before Christmas, also on Disney+. Alex suggested Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp on Netflix.
It's a great film. It's pre-Jack Sparrow Johnny Depp, so he's not like, oh, he's still like a interesting actor.
Yes. We've got the 4 Halloween Town movies, all of which are on Disney+.
Never seen those, so I'm excited.
He hasn't seen a lot of the ones I've suggested.
Yeah, well, I'm on the fence if I'm excited about these Halloween Town films. I hope they're not Disney Channel original movies and it's kind of nostalgic.
They are Disney Channel original movies, but they are great and they keep playing them every year, which, I mean, that's gonna account for something.
Yeah. And we're also watching both live-action Addams Family movies. And the first one's on Netflix, the second one's on Amazon Prime Video.
Mm-hmm. Then there's The Haunted Mansion, also on Disney+.
Beetlejuice, which you're going to have to rent, at least if you're in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Young Frankenstein, which is on Starz. Love Young Frankenstein. Alex, again, never seen it.
I think I've tried to watch the beginning of it with my dad, but I was not interested because it was in black and white.
It's in black and white, but it's a very funny movie.
We're going to watch both Ghostbusters films from the 80s, and in the United States you have to rent both of those.
Yes, and maybe we'll see about the more recent Ghostbusters one, possibly.
Maybe.
If we fill up to it. Then there's the Anne Hathaway remake of The Witches that's coming to HBO Max on October 22nd, and that is based off of the book by Roald Dahl. I've seen, I think, the original movie that they made of it. It was alright.
I've never heard of this film, so...
Basically, witches turn children into mice and then in a hotel and try to exterminate them.
Oh, sounds... Isn't that author the same one who wrote Charlie and Chocolate Factory?
Roald Dahl, I don't think wrote Charlie. He wrote the Big BFG, the Big Friendly Giant.
Really? Oh, must be thinking of someone else. And then we're gonna watch Little Shop of Horrors on HBO Max.
Which I've never seen, but my mom always tells me that I should watch it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, but it looks interesting.
It's got Steve Martin.
Yeah, I think it has Rick Moranis in it as well.
I think so, yeah.
And then we're going to close it out with Goosebumps with Jack Black, which you have to rent in the United States.
But maybe we could also see if we could find the TV show anywhere.
Maybe. The only reason I chose Goosebumps was because it like reminds me of reading the books as a kid, and I love Jack Black, so...
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of scary movies, so that's why we don't have any scary movies on here.
I like some. I wanted Courtney to watch Scream or Nightmare on Elm Street, but I don't think I'm going to be able to convince her.
But we couldn't find them on like Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah, we would have. The deciding factor was that we would have had to rent these.
Yes.
And I don't know if Courtney's going to be into them. Just keep that list in mind. I'm going to post it on Patreon. I'll make it free for anyone who wants to go find it there. So you can just see the movies you're going to be watching, just to keep tabs on that. And
maybe I'll post a picture of like the movie cover.
No, that's a good idea.
On Instagram, whatever one we watched that day.
Yeah, so you can do that as well. And check us out when that episode airs. Keep that on your calendars. Be excited for that. If you like listening to podcasts about things in nerd culture, you might enjoy listening to audiobooks that can transport you away on grand adventures to exciting worlds, all while you go about your daily tasks like driving, cooking, and cleaning. Audible is the perfect place for you to find epic tales, and right now, all listeners can get a 30-day free trial by going to audibletrial.com/nerdsatodds. I'm currently listening to Dune by Frank Herbert in preparation for the movie that comes out later this year, and it has really helped me fight the boredom induced by this pandemic. Audible has thousands of audiobooks available, and the best part is that with your free 30-day trial, you can download and listen to them all for free. So go to audible.com/nerdsatodds to get listening today. And now let's get into our topic of the show, which today is Pixar versus DreamWorks. DreamWorks versus Pixar, which sounds better to you, you think?
I don't know. I mean, they're both good.
I'll debate this internally for the next couple hours before I create a title for this episode, I assume. So, why don't you tell our listeners what the parameters for this kind of are.
What do you mean? So
How are we going about this?
So we're going to look at 5 films / like the series of films that we think are the best from DreamWorks and Pixar. Alex is doing DreamWorks, I'm doing Pixar, and I think it kind of shows what we chose. It like you pick more like funny movies more so, and I pick more of like the emotional ones, but it's Pixar, so they're all emotional.
Yeah.
But I think we should just go through the list maybe, and then tell our reasoning behind it. Or do you want to go like each tell one at a time? We didn't like
rank
them 1 to 5.
That's interesting. Maybe we'll just go through. I'll go through my 5 and give a short blurb for each why I chose it, and then you go through your 5 and then give a short blurb, and we can go one by one after that, maybe. Okay. So I picked Shrek first. I think it's obvious. It's probably DreamWorks' best known series, at least for people our age. The last movie came out 10 years ago, so maybe younger people might not be as familiar with Shrek, but I think it has a fully realized world. It's very funny, interesting. I think it's very influential as well for that time period, though it might have lost its connection with younger kids, perhaps. Next is How to Train Your Dragon, which on Rotten Tomatoes are DreamWorks' best reviewed films, with the first one having a 99 on Rotten Tomatoes. I like the films a lot. Courtney's the one who introduced them to me, and I picked them with a little bit of a hint that I'm going to be able to win Courtney over on my argument some, because she loves these films. Next, I picked Kung Fu Panda, because I love Jack Black, and I remember liking it when it came out. I think it came out in 2008 or so.
Did you watch all the sequels?
I've only seen the first one, so I don't know the sequels, but the first one is really great. Road to El Dorado, I picked because I really enjoyed it. Courtney's the one who showed it to me, but I really liked it. It has a... Well, what's the Disney movie that it feels like the most? I think it feels a lot like Tangled.
I don't think it feels like Tangled. I feel like it... I don't know.
But it has it's very adventurous.
Maybe like Tarzan-esque.
No.
Maybe I'm just thinking because it's the jungle.
No, it's much more fun and funny than Tarzan. But I really enjoyed Road to El Dorado. And then lastly, I picked Madagascar. And I've only seen the first one.
Maybe Mulan.
I've only seen the first Madagascar. I really like the penguins. I've seen the show and stuff for the penguins in Madagascar. And I just feel like that one and Shrek, those two especially, were really influential in my childhood. So I remember them fondly.
He definitely picked the more funny movies.
Yes.
So we'll go through my list, my Pixar list. So first, we got Toy Story. And I chose this one because it's the first Pixar movie. It's a groundbreaking movie because it's the first full-length 3D computer animated film. Without Pixar's Toy Story, there wouldn't have been any of the other ones for at least a very long time. Then I've got Monsters, Inc. It was one of my favorites growing up. I love Sully. I love Boo. I quote it frequently. It's a great movie. Then we've got WALL-E, which I love because it's like the two main characters, they're robots. The only thing they ever say is Wally and Eve. That's it. And it's still like that movie sucks you in, and it basically shows that everyone is capable of love, no matter what. Like they're just robots, but they find love. Also, there's the environment thing, but whatever. Then it's Up. It's got that first bit of like super emotional, and then it gets all like depressing when the wife dies and everybody cries. But basically the movie is about Carl. I think it's Carl.
I think so.
Like learning to celebrate and experience life again. He gets down there with the little boy whose name I can't remember at this current time. And the boy shows him that there's so much to explore and there's so much amazing stuff around. And it's time, like, you gotta step back a little bit from like all the bad stuff and see the beauty. And then I got Inside Out. So I tried to go like old and new, and Inside Out shows that it's like okay to have emotions, and emotions can have many different layers, and there can be a happy memory that also is kind of sad at the time when you're thinking back on it, you know?
So, you haven't seen Toy Story 4.
I've not seen
And have
Toy
you
Story
seen
4.
Monsters University?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't.
I've heard that Toy Story 4 is bad.
Okay. Well, we can get into that when we start presenting our arguments for these.
Okay.
So, do you want to discuss them individually now?
Sure.
Okay. So, let's start with Shrek. What do you think about Shrek?
Okay, the first movie and the second movie are really good, in my opinion. The third movie is bad, and the fourth movie is worse.
Interesting. I mean, I don't really recall them. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen any of these films.
Okay, so, like, the whole thing with Shrek is that they bring in all these fairy tale stuff, you know? You get that with the first one, you're like, that's fun, that's great. You get that with the second one, they bring in, like, actual, like, Cinderella and all those people. That's great. And then, like, you get to the third one, and they're like, let's bring in King Arthur. You know? It's off the wall bringing in, like, King Arthur, because it's not, like, a fairy tale. It's a myth, I guess. Which there's some arguments about that. Like, maybe King Arthur could have been real, but it's basically a myth. And then the fourth one, they're like, oh, Shrek, like, hates his family and his life now. We'll just take that away and see where his life is now.
Well, we can just focus on the good ones if you want.
Well, no, because this is about the whole series.
The whole series. Well, I don't know. We can just toss
this
the
is
bad
why
ones.
I did not put Cars in my list.
Interesting, because I was going to make that argument. You could just take off the bad ones as well.
No. Because,
No?
I mean, Toy Story, I hear that 4 is bad. 3 wasn't as good as 1 and 2. But, you know, I feel like Shrek and Toy Story, they both have that problem.
Well, I'm gonna make this overarching argument here real quick.
Yeah.
The only movie on your list that I would want to watch right now is Monsters, Inc., and that's maybe.
I would want to watch all of these. I love all of these.
I don't like WALL-E. I think it's boring. Up's too sad for me to want to watch again.
I thought we were going to go through these individually.
Oh, okay. Let's start with Toy Story. I think I'm sidestepping because I don't know much bad to say about Toy Story.
Because it's literally the first fully length 3D computer animated movie.
I think that hurts the first one some. You watch it, looks old. And I think the third and the fourth one get a bit derivative of the idea.
You haven't seen the fourth one.
I don't think I'll ever will because I'm tired. I'm tired of this idea. The third one has a great ending.
The third one has a good ending. I want to watch the fourth one just so I can see it because I've watched all the Pixar movies. The first one is about like jealousy, and I feel like it's sort of in a way like in a way Andy is sort of like a parent and he got like a new baby maybe and wants to take care of the baby, which is Buzz Lightyear. And maybe Woody is like the older child that's feeling jealous. That's sort of how it feels to me a little bit. Like I'm the youngest, but it's sort of like I feel like it's along those lines. It's about jealousy.
I think maybe we're coming across something here.
What?
You are making this argument that all of these films have like this underlining.
I think these films are supposed to help people.
Yeah, they have like a meaning.
They have a meaning. Where like I mean,
I don't want a meaning. That's what I'm saying. I just want to have fun.
You're a boy, but like I feel like some of these movies. I mean, they shaped me growing up. The second one isn't really as much about like a thing. You know, like there's not, in my opinion, like a moral, maybe like going back to your roots sort of thing. But I love the second one because it introduces Jessie, it introduces Bullseye, you get all these great characters. That's the sort of love story between Buzz and Jessie that they dance around.
Yeah. I think maybe Shrek and Toy Story have some similarities here, where the first two are great.
Well, I mean, Shrek as well. It's like you're like, oh, I don't want a movie with meaning. Shrek's about not judging a book by its cover. Like Shrek, he's this big ugly ogre is what they call him in the movie, and he may be like not attractive, but he has a heart of gold because he's like, you know, he learns to love and he cares about Donkey and.
You see, I don't get this. I don't get any underlining meaning.
But it's about not. And then like Fiona, she's like this princess that was locked away in a castle, but she's like super tough and she can kick butt.
So what you're saying?
She's not one to just like shy away from situations.
So what I'm hearing is it has a deeper underlining meaning than even I knew, making it much better than even I thought. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, maybe,
Yeah.
but again, you don't care about the underlying meaning.
And you're probably gonna hate me for this. I think Shrek's more influential than Toy Story, culturally.
I mean, there's a lot more memes about it.
I think it's more.
There's not a. I mean, oh, I don't know. There's actually probably a fair amount of Toy Story memes.
But Shrek has like a Broadway play. And
Shrek does have
people
a Broadway
love Shrek
play.
still.
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't negate the huge impact that Toy Story had. You didn't put DreamWorks' first movie that they did, Ants.
Is Toy Story Pixar's first movie?
Yes, I said that. It's Pixar's first movie. That's what started everything, and it's the first fully linked 3D computer animated film.
I didn't put Ants because I haven't seen it probably since it came out in '98.
I love Ants.
So.
Listen, I love DreamWorks movies. I love Pixar movies. But here's the thing. Pixar doesn't make as many duds as DreamWorks does.
Interesting. So on to How to Train Your Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen all three of these.
As have I.
They are great movies.
They are great movies. However, they are not good representations of the book series.
It doesn't have to be good representations of the book. Sometimes books, trash. Movies, better.
I honestly, like, I don't know. So I haven't read the book series. A friend of mine has. And she loves the movies, but I think she would also like it to be a little bit more like the books every once in a while. But I love the How to Train Your Dragon movies. Again, there is an underlying moral. They really like to go for the don't judge a book by its cover thing.
I'm just in it for the humor and the cool dragon designs. Like, I don't care about the underlying.
Yeah, I know you don't care.
But it's a fun movie to watch. I'd watch them again. And I'd watch all 4 Shreks or all 3 How to Train Your Dragons back to back to back to back. And
you haven't seen Shrek in forever. It doesn't look as good as you remember.
I bet it's still entertaining.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, I can't watch Toy Story. It looks bad.
No, I was just throwing that out there to take a shot at Toy Story. I'd watch the first 2 Toy Stories, maybe. I think the underlining meaning of the Pixar films are very emotional and maybe heavy-handed compared to the DreamWorks ones. That I'm like, I'm not sitting here. I don't want to get feels watching these animated films.
But
just give me something
funny too.
I think the feels are what hold the Pixar movies back for me.
Whatever.
I don't want to feel things. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
So next on the list
except for How to Train Your Dragon is literally all about the feels.
No, it's not. I don't care about those.
What? When the spoilers. When the father dies?
I don't care about
in
that.
the second movie?
They have cool dragon designs.
When Hiccup loses his leg in the first movie, and you're like, what if he died?
I didn't think about that at all. See, I don't think about that watching these films. So they're just, fun romps.
I think this is definitely an instance where you can see, like, the female mind versus the male mind. I mean, that's why he doesn't score some of the Disney movies as high as I do, I think.
We're going to get around to this Let's Rank the Disney Animated Films eventually in the podcast's run. But let's get on into Monsters, Inc.
Okay. Monsters, Inc. It's not really the emotional aspect as much for me. It is very sad. I really want a sequel. Not a prequel like in Monsters University.
Yeah.
I want a sequel because like there's that part at the end of Monsters Inc. where he opens the door and he goes boo, and he gets that happy smile on his face, and I want to know what happens. I love Monsters Inc. I love everything about
Monsters Inc.'s my favorite of the Pixar films you've brought up today.
Yeah. And Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, I like all the monster designs.
The monster designs are great. Monsters University is also really good. Like, maybe not as good, in my opinion, but it's still really good. It's about these two people that, like, become friends, even though they're, like, completely different. And then, like, Monsters Inc. is just, like, learning that maybe, like, score is not everything, you know? And not everything's as it seems.
Yeah.
But it's so good. I love the Yeti. I love Randall and how evil he is.
I think Monsters Inc. is God, I don't want to say better than Toy Story, because Toy Story is groundbreaking. But I like Monsters Inc. more. I think it's a more fun movie to watch, perhaps.
Monsters Inc. because you've got so many, like, there's different aspects, and I used to have a Monsters Inc. pinball game on the computer, and it was so much fun.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
Why didn't you pick Finding Nemo?
I actually didn't like Finding Nemo as a kid.
Really?
I didn't like it. Maybe my sister liked it, and I feel like she played it a lot.
Yeah.
And it made me start to hate it.
Because in my mind, I think Finding Nemo's the best Pixar film.
I like Finding Nemo, but
But then you have that problem of Finding Dory not being great.
Finding Dory's fine.
I don't think Pixar
it's not as good.
Pixar has proven once that they can land a sequel of Toy Story 2 20 years ago. Pixar has not landed a sequel after that.
I don't know about that.
Cars 2?
Well, I'm not saying Cars 2. What about Incredibles 2?
Interesting. You know what? I
forgot about Incredibles.
Yeah. Why is it Incredibles on your list?
Because I didn't like Incredibles when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
I'm picking movies I really, really liked.
I think that might be an issue here. Is that you're picking the films that I was like, too much feels, get them away, and then I would have picked the actiony films.
Yeah, well, I mean, every boy loves Incredibles, you know, and Incredibles 2 is really good as well.
Yeah,
but I didn't like the demon baby at the end of Incredibles
when you were little.
When I was younger, and I mean, it's a little. I don't like the aspect of the dad lying to his whole family the entire time. You know? I don't like that. It's not my favorite thing.
Alright, so let's get on into my list for Kung Fu Panda. What do you think about Kung Fu Panda?
Kung Fu Panda is great in its own way. I mean, it's got like I don't like that it's making fun of like this fat panda. It's a movie making fun of fat.
I like Jack Black as the Kung Fu Panda, though I am not interested in seeing the sequels. I don't know if they're good or not, but this one's enough for me. But I enjoy it. I like all the animal designs.
The second one, I don't remember as much. I think the second one's with the peacock. And then there's a third one, and I'm not sure if I watched the third one.
But I really like it. I think the animal characters are cool, and the portrayals.
I mean, I love like Jack Black in it. He's great. Yeah. I love all the animals.
Angelina Jolie is the tiger, and Jackie Chan plays the chinchilla. I think.
There's no chinchilla.
Who's the trainer?
Oh, there is a chinchilla.
Yeah, Jackie Chan plays the master, the chinchilla master.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't think he's a chinchilla.
I don't know what
I don't know what he is, but I don't think he's a chinchilla.
I think he's a chinchilla. They're known for their martial arts skills,
but
chinchillas.
I don't know. It really makes fun of the panda being fat a lot. Like a lot. It's like, oh, he's got to eat a lot of food. Oh, look at his fat rolls. Oh. It's like, oh, the nerve thing doesn't work on him because he's fat.
Yeah. Oh, you know. He's a panda.
I mean, it's a little campy at times. And then, like, the second movie makes fun of him for being fat.
Hey, that's the lowbrow humor I am shooting for
in my anime. And I remember there's, like, a whole part that he's having this fight scene. And, the big fight scene with the jaguar or whatever. And they slow down the fight so you can watch Poe's butt sit on the jaguar's face. Like, they slow it down so that you can see it, and then they speed it back up.
So on to Wall-E. This one's can be all you still. I fell asleep trying to watch it every time I've tried to watch it.
Wall-E's great. I love this cute little love story, because Eve is like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't care about this little trash robot. And then, but he cares about her so much. He takes care of her. They grow to, like, care about each other. And it's interesting because they're just robots. But you get so connected to them. And it's hard, like, imagine trying to animate these robots to show emotion. And it's, like, all throughout the film. Like different robots as well, like the hairdressing robot and everything. It's just really, it's a great movie in my opinion. I like the space. It's an interesting concept of like, oh, well, all the humans left, and this is what would happen if they're on this like luxury space cruise. Like, they don't have to walk. Of course, they lose the ability to use their legs and all this other stuff. And it's about, like, you can't just leave something alone and expect it to get better. You have to work on it to get better. You know, like, with the Earth, they're like, well, it's a trash heap now, we'll leave it. And it wasn't getting any better, but you have to nurture that. It's like with a relationship. If you're in a fight, you can't just go away and hope that it gets better. You have to work it out and nurture your relationship. I don't think that's what they're going for here. But it's just, it's like morals.
Sure.
Learning. Making people better.
So Road to El Dorado, what do you think about that?
I love The Road to El Dorado. I showed you the movie.
There we go. Great movie.
It is a great movie. There's there's a lot of, like, sexual innuendos and such in that movie. I guess that's for the parents.
Yeah.
Because kids never understand.
Well, they might.
They don't understand. They'll just go like, why is mom and dad laughing? Oh, well.
But yeah, I like The Road to El Dorado a lot. It's entertaining. I don't know if you can pick out any underlying morals in The Road to El Dorado.
Money isn't everything?
Killing me. You're killing me here. Can I get one just entertaining movie, no morals?
No.
No?
Again, Kung Fu Panda is like, don't judge a book by its cover.
That's right.
Turns out to be a great fighter.
Yeah. It's because he has all that extra armor.
Uh-huh.
Next up on your list is Up.
Yes.
Which I think is an incredible movie.
Up is great.
But I'm never going to watch it
Visually, fantastic. I love Doug. He's that, like...
The dog?
Yeah, the Doug. Dog named Doug.
Yeah.
And he's like that. He's the comic relief. Him and the little boy.
Is the little boy's name's Ethan?
No, it's not
I'm
Ethan.
feeling Ethan.
No, it's not Ethan.
Evan?
No.
Ernest?
No.
It's probably Ethan.
It's not Ethan. But like the little boy, he's also comic relief, and you've got the old man, and he's sort of like, he's kind of dour, and that's also funny in a way. But, he decides that it's more important to, like, experience life and help this poor kid and help the bird, Kevin, instead of, like, doing this random weird thing that, like, his wife isn't going to enjoy. It's sweet what he's trying to do, but as soon as his wife died, he basically kind of gave up. And it's, like, renewed life in him with the boy whose name I can't remember.
Max.
It's not Max.
Mitchell? I like Up.
It's just those first, like, 10 minutes are, like, let me rip out your heart and feed it to you. Yeah,
but I will not watch it again. So.
Because of the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's too sad.
Oh, whatever.
So last on my list is Madagascar. What do you like about Madagascar?
I like Madagascar.
Yes. I've only seen the first one. You seen the other two?
I've seen the second one.
Okay. What do you think? Have you seen the Penguins TV show?
I've seen some of it.
Okay. I really like the Penguins.
There was a Christmas special.
Yes, I had it. It was on the DVD that came with Madagascar, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like that.
I don't like King Julian.
You don't like King Julian?
I don't like King Julian. I don't... He's annoying. It's like... What's that movie? I think it was a Nickelodeon movie. It was like Barnyard.
Yeah, with the rat. He sings
Yeah.
that Shaggy song.
No, it's not the rat. Like, the rat, whatever. I don't care about the rat.
Oh.
I just don't like that movie. It's very, like...
I like Barnyard.
I don't like... It's very, like... It's boy humor. And that's what Madagascar is as well. It's boy humor.
Penguins are great.
And it's got that same, like, style of animation that Barnyard does that I don't like. Like the cow is very smooth, and I remember
okay. The hippo.
The hippo is very smooth, and it's weird, and they're like playing. It's also like kind of sexual, in a way, like the movie, like all the innuendos, all that stuff. Like, I mean, some movies have that, and that's supposed to be like for the parents, but there's a lot in Barnyard, and there's a lot in Madagascar
King
too.
Julian likes to move it. I don't know what you
but
want.
I don't like King Julian. Marty's fine. I liked Marty. He's like, you know, what's it called?
Marty? The zebra. Is Marty the zebra or the giraffe?
I was thinking the giraffe.
Oh, he might be the giraffe.
Melvin's the giraffe.
Okay, Marty's the zebra.
I was thinking Melvin.
Okay.
Melvin's like a hypochondriac.
Yes.
And I liked him.
My favorite character is Alex the lion. Because my name is Alex.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a Leo.
Yeah, sure.
I love Alex the lion.
I mean, you know, it's just sort of... I don't remember the movie that well, because I didn't really feel like rewatching it when I was younger.
I watched the Penguin stuff more than the movie, but it gave us the Penguin stuff, so...
But the second one's like... Alex and all of them wind up in Africa somehow, and it turns out that, like, Alex is a king or prince or something.
Sounds about right.
A lost prince.
That sounds right. I like that idea.
Like, I guess the wild goes to his head, and he tries to eat Marty. That might be the first one. I remember there's a line that's like, "You bit me on my butt."
Yeah.
I don't remember which one.
The zebra in Madagascar is a lot like Donkey.
No.
I think so.
No, Marty, he's his own. I like Marty more than I liked Alex, I think. I think her name's Grace the hippo, even though she was like weirdly sexualized. I don't know.
Yes.
The penguins were nice. I like the penguins. They're great. I just don't remember that much about Madagascar. Like, I don't remember, like, is the whole point is them surviving in Madagascar? They're trying to leave the island, but they never do? Like, I don't know.
I put it on here called The Penguins.
I don't know. I feel like Inside Out, my last movie, is a lot more memorable. Like, you can't even remember Madagascar.
I remember having fun with it.
You don't.
I remember being sad doing half of these films.
Kung Fu Panda. Like, I don't know.
I remember having
Inside
fun with them.
Out's great. They've got it's funny. You know, they've got that part in Riley's head where she's got all those, like, the imaginary boyfriend maker or whatever, and then you have, like, I love the going into other people's minds and seeing how it's different from Riley's. You know, like the cat, you know, and it's just like one cat running, like, going across the board, and then, like, the other cats are just, like, off doing something else.
Well, it's just like she's changing homes and all that, and it's sad.
Well,
I don't like watching it.
It's like, you know, she moved, and, like, that's the point. It's like Pixar's trying to make it so it's relatable to kids. So if they're ever in this situation, they're not going to try and run away. You know, they're not going to maybe feel depressed. Maybe they'll actually try and make a bunch of new friends, talk to their family about how they feel, and not just try and put on a brave face. You know, because, like, plenty of kids, they get moved around a lot. And they can't do anything about it because it's like, oh, well, dad's job says we gotta move, you know?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's relatable to kids. That's the whole point.
Well,
and it's also entertaining. It's like those moral tales where it's like they're there to entertain and teach in a way.
Well, now that we've gotten to the end of our two lists, I'm going to say it that I think Pixar undoubtedly makes better films. They're better made films.
Yes.
But I view Pixar films as like the Oscar winner movie. Like, you're going to watch it, you know, because it's supposed to be the best movie of the year. But it's going to be a film that's, you experience it, at least for me, and then you're like, I'm never watching this again. I don't have it in me to watch this a second time. And I feel like the DreamWorks films are more like, they're not the best, but they're the ones that are more fun to return to.
Well, that's you, but like I'd watch all of these again. Like most of the Pixar movies, like Coco. Coco's great. I love Coco. I've watched that multiple times. It's a fantastic movie. And then you've got Onward's great.
Yeah, Onward was good, but I mean, it still has the sad aspect of like losing your dad and trying to
but
get him back.
No. You can't be like, oh, it's got the sad aspect of losing dad. How to Train Your Dragon.
I don't know. I was able to overlook that more.
Onward, it does it in a way where it's like the dad's already gone. He's just coming back for this like one day so that you can hang out, and it's like, we messed up the spell. You know, and they have hijinks, and it's fun, and I like the mythological stuff going on. Like, I only watched The Good Dinosaur once. That one, like, it's one of Pixar's, like, least watched movies. I think it's because they have, like, the super realistic world and like, the really cartoony dinos.
Perhaps.
There's more good Pixar movies, and I don't, like, you wouldn't watch, like, Ratatouille again? Ratatouille's a Pixar movie. I don't
remember much about Ratatouille.
Ratatouille's great. I love Ratatouille. I don't remember there being, like, a bunch of super sad stuff.
So, on to questions, comments, and concerns. And we just want to remind everyone that if you want to write in with your questions, comments, and concerns, to head on over to patreon.com/nerdsandodds, and we'll incorporate those into the show. And now let's get on into Kita's Corner. What does Kita want to say today?
Kita would like to remind you to spay and neuter your pets and try to adopt from a pet shelter with whenever possible. You know, I don't want you to, like, adopting like 30 cats. None of them are going to be happy. But, like, you know, if you're thinking about getting a pet, animal shelter's probably the best way to go.
And it's time for Halloween, so be sure to get 2 black cat for Halloween.
So there is a study that was done that animals that are black in color at animal shelters are less likely to be adopted.
Because they seem unlucky.
Yes, so especially like black cats, because there's that, like, oh, black cat crosses your path, bad luck. But like dogs as well. I've never been a fan of that. Like, I'm like, I've had plenty of black cats.
Yeah.
They're fine.
So hopefully once this pandemic ends, we can get out there and look for a cat.
Yes.
Speaking of unlucky, I heard a story the other day that the audience might find funny, where this guy was talking about how he worked at a company, right? Mm-hmm. And his boss, when they would get resumes in, would throw the top half in the trash without looking at them because the boss said, quote, "We don't want to hire unlucky people now, do we?" So just throwing that out there, that was a fun little story.
What does that mean?
They were unlucky enough to be on the top half of the stack of resumes, and he didn't want to hire someone that was unlucky.
That's dumb.
Yeah. So, if you feel bad for those people, adopt a black cat at your local animal shelter today.
Or, you know, any pet. I think
they even have rabbits.
They do have rabbits. I've seen a lot of random weird animals at pet shelters before.
Yeah, so.
Horses.
I wouldn't adopt a horse unless you have the means to take care of it.
The room, obviously, to take care of it. And, you know, if you don't think that you're going to be able to take care of the animal and give it enough love, you know? Like, if you want a dog, but you can't be home a lot, probably don't get a dog. Because dogs like that interaction. Cats do as well, but they're more like, I can take it or leave it.
Or a pet rock.
Pet rock.
Easy to take care of, don't make a lot of mess. They are known to kill their owners from time to time, though, I hear. They turn on you.
They do turn on you. You ever see a pet rock with a knife?
No, very vicious.
Dangerous.
Yeah. What's the interesting fact for the day?
So, we've kind of got two interesting facts. I'm going to let you take the first one, because it's DreamWorks related, and then I've got a Pixar one.
Alright. So, for those of you who don't know, DreamWorks movies actually used to be distributed by Disney for about a decade. Which is interesting because they seem like the biggest competitors for each other. Since Disney owns Pixar as well, but Disney did used to distribute...
Well, Disney didn't used to own Pixar.
Well, this was only like 10 years ago, so I'm pretty sure they did. In like 2006.
I don't know.
So, that was an interesting fact. And also, if you don't know, DreamWorks also makes live action films. And they make some great live action films, such as Saving Private Ryan and Lincoln. Because Steven Spielberg is one of the founders of DreamWorks. So, he uses that to make some of his movies.
Okay. And for Pixar, Toy Story 2, one of my favorite of the Toy Story movies, was almost entirely deleted on accident. An employee ran a code on accident that cleared every single computer's memory at the studio.
At Pixar, yeah.
And they were working on Toy Story 2 at the time. I probably even had it almost done, if not completely done. But luckily, one of the lead animators, she had just given birth. She was working from home, and she had all of the information stored on her home computer and was able to save the whole film.
That's another positive for working from home. Jobs, you should probably let people work from home more often after this ends.
Yeah, maybe. So,
start a cottage industry.
Mm-hmm.
You a fan of cottage industry?
No.
No?
I don't know what that is.
It's like where you in the olden days, people used to weave stuff at home and whatever.
Okay.
Anything else you want to tell the audience before we get out of here?
No, I think that's about it.
You think that's it?
Yep.
Alright, we'll see you guys on the next episode. It's going to be discussing all things Star Wars in preparation for the Mandalorian Season 2 release.
Does that mean we're going to talk about the Christmas special?
Probably the 11. There's 11 live action films. Probably those 11 live action films.
Okay.
Or the 6 good ones.
Okay.
So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye!
Nerds at Odds is made possible by our supporters over on patreon.com/nerdsatodds. If you want to become a member of our community and gain access to the show 4 days early, gain the ability to submit your questions, comments, and concerns, and so much more, consider supporting us over there. Thank you, and have a great day.